All right, guys, we have the man who brought back the Kumite into the modern era, Sean, the producer of the last Kumite, amazing project. Thanks for coming back.
Hey Dave, it's been a while. It's been a while. Nice to be back on your show. See you doing well. Always good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. But we're not here just to chat about, you know, life. We're here to chat about a very big, amazing project that you want to tell us about, right?
Exactly. I mean, obviously you are also an old school martial arts movie fan, so the movie No Retreat, No Surrender also has to be part of your childhood. And the movie turns 40 years next year, and myself, Oliver Harper, known not only for his amazing documentaries like In Search of the Last Action Heroes, but also the Street Fighter documentary. Um, we discussed having a 40-year anniversary documentary, the first ever documentary about the cult classic No Retreat, No Surrender. And yeah, that's why I'm on your show because we're running a Kickstarter campaign and it's only 2 days left.
Yeah, only 2 days left. Congratulations, by the way, because obviously the more money you get for it, the more you guys can do. But I noticed you guys already reached your objective, so there's obviously a huge fan base for this thing.
Yes, I mean to be honest, playing with open cards now, the target, the goal that we were aiming for, we reduced it just to make sure that people see that it's accomplishable. So the 30,000 that we have accomplished right now, that is the minimum that we need to finish the documentary because we already started producing it like almost 10 months ago. We filmed already in Hong Kong and Los Angeles and Seattle, New York and everything. So we have more than 50% of the documentary ready,
Oh,
but
nice.
there's still a lot, yeah, but there's still a lot more that we want to shoot and also for the post-production because we feel since this is the first ever documentary and we were able to literally track almost everybody down from the film producers and everything. If it comes out at the 40th anniversary, it has to be something special. I know that this movie means so much to so many fans, and we really want to do this project justice because we also know that we have the potential to make a lot of people happy, and that's, I mean, that's the main reason why we do what we do in general.
Yeah, definitely, man. That should definitely be the motivation to do it. Which like the last Kumite, for example, was a passion project to bring that kind of film back, and then getting all the behind the scenes and information, and like you said, interviews, which we're going to talk about some of the guys you interviewed for No Retreat, No Surrender. I do want to ask you this real quick though. Where do you rank No Retreat, No Surrender in all-time top martial arts films? Like, what number rank would you give this?
You know, the interesting part is that you have different camps. There are people who really don't like the movie and think it's corny, it's cheesy, and don't like it for being what it is. But then you also have people like myself who really, really have an emotional connection to the movie. And as you know, I'm from Germany. In Germany, this movie is considered one of the biggest cult classics that we have over here. It helps so many people to overcome abuse in their household. It helped people to overcome bullying. So for I'm in the camp of people who rank the movie very high. So it is in my top 10 martial arts movies of all time. Knowing that, of course, it has a lot of things that he can criticize, but to me, I always see or I always feel that a movie doesn't have to be perfect. The main goal of a movie should be that it entertains you and it does something with you. And that movie made me happy so many times, and I owe that movie so much. So, you know what's not only my top 10, it's my top five, and I don't care if people think I'm crazy. That movie is special to me, and I know it's special to a lot of people too.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a reason why they made several sequels just to bank off of the name alone, even though the sequels didn't really
Yep.
have to do much to
Yep.
do, if anything, with the original.
Something that we discovered, by the way, in a documentary, because that is very interesting, that history, why they made those things.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Is No Retreat, No Surrender more of a cult classic in Germany than Bloodsport?
Actually, up until 2 years ago, I would have said they are on the same level, but I do think emotionally it ranks that teeny tiny bit even higher than Bloodsport, not from a martial arts standpoint, but because it has those topics of bullying and that basically the underdog. It has this tiny notch above Bloodsport, which is already crazy because Bloodsport to me, ranking at number one with Enter the Dragon,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
sharing the first place is such an iconic movie. But from an emotional standpoint, I think in Germany it's even bigger. Um, I had a I had screenings of No Retreat, No Surrender, which is called Karate Tiger in Germany,
Hmm.
and every time I screen that film, it's packed, and you have people actually traveling like 6 to 7 hours to see the film and to have one of the cast members there. You won't believe the stuff that people do just to see their heroes from that movie. It's unbelievable. People even flying into Germany for that movie. It's
Wow.
unbelievable, but beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean you got some diehard fans for sure, man. That's their movie, right? Like we all got our handful of movies that, we'll watch till the day we die because they're literally part of us, right?
Yes. Yes.
In so many ways, man, and we grew up with them. So I know you're doing this with Oliver Harper, who's done several
Yes.
documentaries, but one of you guys had the idea of like this has to be done. Like whose original idea was it? Was it yours or was it Oliver's?
Well, the first thing, there's a third person in the project, Chris Stratton. I just want to make sure that he also gets his credits because he also does a lot of the work that we have done so far.
Okay,
The general idea was mine. The reason was because I, as you remember, for the last Kumite, we had Kurt McKinney, who plays the
sure.
lead in No Retreat, No Surrender, and it took me almost a year to find him because he didn't have social media back then, and we became very good friends and. I started writing a book about No Retreat, No Surrender. My original plan was, okay, at the 40th anniversary, I'm going to release the book. But once I finished the book, like checking the last page, I thought, you know what? I was able to track almost everybody down, people who have completely vanished from the scene. Nobody could find them. I'm talking about RJ, JW Fails. I'm talking about Kelly, Kathy Soleno, the love interest. All of those guys, I found them. Took me, honestly, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it's truth, almost a year to find them. And I thought, you know what? Um, I just wrote a movie, but wouldn't it be nice now since I'm in touch with those people if you actually can see them 40 years later and
Sure.
have like a real story around it, like have a reunion and film that and make this like a really big thing because it's a once in a lifetime chance. Nobody's getting younger. Who knows what happens in 10 years? So yeah, that's when I approached Oliver and asked him like, "Hey, since I love the documentaries that you make, would you be interested in making that um the documentary with me?" And he was on board right away, and he brought his good mate Chris along, who um who is amazing in what he does. If you don't know this guy, you will know him after this documentary because he's genius. Yeah, and that's how the project um came about. And yeah, because we didn't have the financial backing so far, I took the last of my savings and said, you know what? Okay, let me at least put half or the first shovel of money into this project so that we can start, so that when we run the Kickstarter, that we can still make it happen at the 40th anniversary and that we don't lose time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Can you let us know some of the people that you guys interviewed for the documentary?
Sure. From the cast so far, we have obviously Kurt McKinney,
Sure.
the lead of the movie. We have Kathy Soleno, the love interest. RJ, who plays JW Fails, who plays RJ, the coolest dude. Pete Cunningham, who plays Frank, the black fighter, who in real life is a seven-time world kickbox champion, legend.
And I think he really got knocked out by Van Damme while filming that fight scene.
Well, we will discover that in the
We'll find
documentary.
out. Maybe
The
that's
real,
true or not. We'll see in the
the
documentary.
real story. Yes,
Yeah, from the
I
guy
don't want to tell.
himself.
Yes, I don't want to tell the story yet, but yeah,
Okay.
we covered that in the documentary. We have Scott Atkins,
Oh,
who
nice. Okay.
really shares his story, which is incredible. He really opens up about how much that movie means to him. Cynthia Rothrock, because we also talk about the No Retreat, No Surrender series, the American versions, and the Karate Tiger versions in Germany. How in Germany we had 10 No Retreat, No Surrender, aka Karate Tiger movies, which is insane. Really interesting story, even if you're not from Germany. Matthias, who's and many legends actually. But there are still like 6 to 7 people that we really need for this. But flying is expensive, renting the equipment is expensive, so that's why we need extra money because my bank account does not allow any more fan services right now.
Okay.
Rent,
Well,
rent paying rent is also important.
a lot of people would be wondering because before Bloodsport, obviously Van Damme had his debut in No Retreat, No Surrender as the villain, very iconic.
Yep, I tried. I was close.
Okay. So,
No, man,
I mean,
I tried. I tried. I mean, I actually got so close that the project was presented to him, and
okay.
he actually said that he would like to do, or he would be willing to do it, but then it's got canceled for private reasons, which I don't want to.
Private reasons. Okay. Well, that's a bummer because not only for the fans, I think for his legacy. Like there could be somebody that looks into that 30 years from now, and obviously somebody 30 years from now, somebody born today, everybody kind of gets forgotten about. I mean, that's just the fact, unfortunately, right? Except, you know, there's young kids. I found out from the Martial Arts History Museum, Mike Matsuda, who runs it in Glendale, California. He said, "Look, these young kids who come in, they don't even know who Bruce Lee is." Which is
Crazy,
sad.
huh?
But if like he were to be a part of a documentary on one of his classic films, they could see him even talking about that. So it's really a kind of it's a shame for the fans, but it's also I think a shame for Van Damme's own legacy of not sharing the movie before Bloodsport, Because the thing is, Sean, I don't think he would have got Bloodsport if it wasn't for No Retreat, No Surrender. Like
Oh, it's a fact.
yeah, I've talked to so many of these people who were around in that world, Frank Duke, Sheldon Lettich, everybody in that world, and a big part of it was I'm trying to remember the story off the top of my head. I think it was Sheldon and Frank, and somebody brought up that movie to him and said, "Hey, Frank, what about this guy? This guy
Exactly.
could play
He looks
you in
just
the
like
movie,
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?"
Yes, 100%. And to me, look, I love Van Damme. I was a fan, I am a fan, and I will always be a fan, always be grateful for the things that he has done.
Sure.
I have never heard him speak about No Retreat, No Surrender. I don't know what the reasons are, but to me, No Retreat, No Surrender was the first time that I saw him. I think he plays an awesome villain. I think many fans feel that this movie put him on the map, not way before Bloodsport. And I think it's also something to be proud of. Even if you're not the star of the film and you only have like 10 minutes of screen time, it's not about the minutes, it's about the quality. And um if this movie is a cult classic, I think he should also be proud of being a part of that. But look, people are different. As I said, I got a yes at first from his camp, so I thought, okay, um, cool. I was really happy about it. It was changed. It's cool. I respect that. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Will the documentary still rock? Yes. Will we talk about Van Damme in the documentary? Yes. Do we have people from his childhood speaking about his experience there? Yes, we have that too. So he will be part of the documentary, just not as a person, but of course he gets his flowers in the movie because he also has a big part of the success in the film.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's good. I know you kind of mentioned this briefly, but how much do you guys actually delve into the sequels? Because I know you got Cynthia and Matthias, doing interviews in there, and they were obviously involved in the sequels. But how deep does it go into the other ones?
That's the thing. If we would reach our goal of 50,000, which is gonna be super hard. I mean, we are at 32,000. It's only 2 days to go. So,
You
um,
can't extend the timeline deadline.
the thing is, we need to move forward now. Like, the amount that comes out in 2 days, that's the money that we can invest, and that's what we have to plan with and work with
Sure.
right now. Um, if we would have had more money, we would have had an extended cut where we like really deep dive into the sequels because I mean I love the sequels. I'm a huge fan of the entire history of those movies. But yeah, it probably won't be affordable still in the in the normal cut, we will talk about it. It will get a fair amount of minutes, but of course, the main focus will be on part one and mostly of part two of the sequels.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. When is the projected release date, by the way?
We are aiming for early 2026.
Yeah, because it came out in 1986, right? So I guess that'd
Yes.
be 40 years next year. Okay, so
Yeah.
you got time to really make this a masterpiece because I've seen the trailer you guys got on the Kickstarter. I mean, it looks so professional, the way the interviews are done, the way they're lit. Just it's
Yeah.
like a top notch, you know?
Yes. As I said, this project is like really, really important to us. And Oliver and Chris are amazing in what they do. I mean, the good the cool thing is if you are in the retro community with people that really, really love what they do and they really have passion for this retro stuff, and they are also skillful at the same time, those are the friends that you need to have. And it's gonna look awesome. I mean, that's why we also shared the trailer really early so that people can actually see, okay, it's really high quality. All the money that we have, we really invested into the project. Nobody of us is paying themselves big money or anything. We want this thing to be great and amazing. Our chance to make so many fans happy. And believe me, this time I'm very, very sure that we won't disappoint anybody because what we have so far is awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah, that's great. It's amazing what you know you're doing for the retro community. Obviously, like I'd mentioned earlier, you brought back the Kumite, and now you're bringing back, you know, this classic in a way, this story behind the story of it, how it was never told. You know, getting told by all the people who were there at the time, and they all have their individual take and perspective on things, but it's so much insight. You know, it's such a cool thing for like these cult classic films. People just they love it, man. You know.
You know what? I really wish that more streamers would actually invest money in those type of documentaries. Like there are so many classic, like cult classic for us 80s and 90s kids. You know, I would love to see more documentaries about those films. And for a big streamer service, this is not big money, you know. And I personally, again, I repeat myself every time I go on interviews, but I'm not making the documentaries or the films because I feel the urge that I have to do it. I rather sit on the couch and actually just tune into it, and somebody else does all the legwork because this is really stressful and not good for my health, which I always notice day by day. But on the other hand, I rather invest my time than accepting that there will never be a No Retreat, No Surrender documentary. You know, there has to be some idiots who do it, and I
Yeah, so basically you're making what you want to see and what you know a lot of other people want to see, but nobody else is willing to actually put the work and do it. So you basically are just doing it because again, it's one of those things where you're spending so much time and energy and you're not getting rich off of it. So that's
no.
probably why a lot of other people aren't saying I'll do it, you know, because they're spending all the time and energy, but they're not making the money, you
There
know.
is no money in this. There is literally no money in this. I had to learn the hard way by like really, really learn the hard way. But then you have to ask your question, okay, how passionate are you about that? Was money the driving force in the first place, or what is the reason to 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 do what you're doing right now? And I know it sounds corny and I know it sounds whatever, but just to know how happy those things make other fans. I love it, man. That's my motivation. And if one day I make like $2 with and I don't lose money, that would be a nice start.
Yeah, no, I mean, I share your passion, you know, like it's something to be proud of and leave behind later because obviously everybody needs to make enough money just to survive, right? But once you have
Yep.
enough, how valuable is it? It's more the experiences and the things you do while you're here, while you're alive. You know, like, does any of us want to die with, you know, 300,000 or 3 million or 30 million in the bank? Like, what does that do for you? Nothing. I mean, maybe people fighting over your inheritance, but that does nothing. Like, so whatever
Mhm.
you accumulate, yeah, it's good, but it does nothing for you. So, hopefully you do something in your life that gave you some kind of joy and purpose. And accumulating money is never that the answer is never accumulating money gave me purpose. No. It's good if you could accumulate money, if you could do something good
Mhm.
with the money, but that's never anybody's purpose, man. So I like the work you're doing. I love the work you're doing.
Thank you, man. Also, I want your audience to know that I contacted you not even 24 hours ago, really spontaneous, said, "Hey, David, I have this project. Can I come on your show?" And you said right away yes and made it happen on the same day. So you are a good dude, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you're welcome, man. Like I want to help when I can, you know. I mean, my time's tight. Obviously, your time's tight, but like, we can make it work, and we'll fit it in. Like we were gonna do it earlier, but like, we couldn't. But now we got it in, and then hopefully we get a few last minute donations and make this thing, as big as and good as possible.
Yes, people, come on, support the No Retreat, No Surrender, the untold story. Support it on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
That,
click the
that
link
what?
in the description, guys. Definitely support this classic film.
Yes, and what else? Guys, if we get this done with the right amount of money, I can promise you it will be worth it.
Oh, for
David,
sure. You could just see the quality in the trailer, the quality and the passion. Well, thanks for coming on, Sean. And anytime you got anything to promote, I know you're probably going to be doing more things, whether they're movies or documentaries in the future. So please come on back and share, the projects.
thank you very much. Thanks for your audience. Thanks for taking the time, David. And I gotta go back and train with Bruce Lee with his ghost.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm going to go to the gym. All
All right,
right.
man.
Thanks,
Take
man.
care. All right, bye.